Look into the eyes of that silent portrait, the way the light seems to breathe through the canvas, and feel the weight of a single intention that has been poured into every brushstroke. In that moment, you sense something deeper than pigment, a quiet command that shapes what you see and how you feel. Now picture the chaotic swirl of a modern abstract, splattered colors and broken lines that feel more like a screen than a story. What is the invisible thread that separates the calm focus of the old masters from the frantic noise of today's art? The answer lies not in the paint itself, but in the mind that guides it. The architecture of intent is a visual, philosophical framework that explains how the focus of our mind builds the reality we experience. Think of intention as a blueprint, a hidden scaffolding that our thoughts erect before any physical form appears. When Rembrandt painted his subjects, he did not merely copy what he saw. He projected a precise mental image directly onto the viewer's eye, layering light and shadow to draw a hologram of intention onto the soul. That is why his work feels like a mirror that reflects the inner state of both artist and observer, in contrast. Much of contemporary art bears the fingerprints of internal turmoil. A lack of clear focus and a yearning for distraction. The frantic splatters and digital glitches are often the external manifestations of creators who cannot settle on a single purpose, letting anxiety and confusion spill onto the canvas. If the mind is a storm, the art becomes the rain. And just as storms can erode landscapes, a chaotic inner world can erode the quality of our lives, our relationships, and our creations. To understand how intention molds reality, we first turn to science. Neuroscience tells us that attention rewires the brain. When you focus on a single point, neurons that fire together strengthen their connections, creating a map that guides perception and action. Studies from the early 21st century show that sustained attention can literally reshape neural pathways, making the brain more efficient at detecting the very thing you are looking for. This is why a focused mind can spot a hidden detail in a crowd, while a distracted mind misses it entirely. There is also a metaphorical echo in quantum physics, where the act of observation changes the state of a particle. Though not a mystical claim, the principle illustrates how our mental focus can shift the probability of outcomes. When you set a clear intention, you are, in effect, observing a future possibility, nudging it toward manifestation. Intent can be thought of as a force field, an invisible vector that aligns perception, emotion, and action. Imagine a compass needle that points not north, but toward the goal you hold in your mind. Every thought, every breath, every movement becomes oriented along that line, and the world you navigate begins to rearrange itself to accommodate the direction you have chosen. Let's try a quick exercise together. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and for 30 seconds, imagine a single, crystal clear goal, something simple, like feeling calm during this moment. Hold that image steady. Notice how your shoulders relax, how the breath steadies. Feel how even this tiny act of focused intention shifts the feeling in your body. That tiny shift is the seed of the larger architecture we are discussing. If this is blowing your mind, hit that subscribe button and let's keep exploring together. Now, let's look at art as a mirror of the mind. Classical masters like Rembrandt employed what we can call the intent canvas model. The process begins with a pure mental image, a clear intention that the artist holds in mind. That intention then translates into a mental picture, which becomes the brushstroke. The brushstroke, in turn, meets the viewer's eye, delivering the original intention directly into consciousness. The result is a work that feels like a living, breathing extension of the creator's focus. When we place a Rembrandt portrait side by side with a contemporary abstract, the difference is stark. The classical piece uses light as language, carving depth and texture that guide the eye toward a focal point. The abstract, by contrast, often lacks a singular focal point, scattering the viewer's attention across a chaotic field. The former invites contemplation. The latter provokes disorientation. This isn't just a matter of style. It reflects the mental state behind the creation. A mind that can hold a steady intention produces a work that channels that intention outward. A mind that is scattered produces a work that mirrors that scatter. The modern art world is saturated with works that appear broken, distorted, or intentionally provocative. Some argue that this reflects the fragmentation of our cultural psyche. But there is also a practical side. Many creators are grappling with inner turbulence, and their lack of focus becomes the very content they sell. The result is a marketplace flooded with pieces that echo confusion rather than clarity. What if we could reverse that trend? What if we learned to craft a holographic image of our desired reality, just as the old masters did on canvas? The next step is to develop a technique that translates intention into tangible form. A method we'll call the Rembrandt Intent Map. It starts with a simple practice. Before any creative act, whether painting, writing, or planning a project, you pause, close your eyes, and visualize the finished outcome with as much sensory detail as possible. You see the colors, hear the sounds, feel the textures. You hold that image steady. Then you open your eyes and let your hand follow that mental map dot by training this habit. You begin to align your neural pathways with your desired outcome, making the act of creation a direct translation of intention rather than a reaction to inner chaos. Over time, the brain learns to treat this visualization as a default mode, and the external world starts to reflect the internal architecture you have built. What do you think about this connection between mind and masterpiece? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. In the next segment, we'll dive deeper into how to build your own Rembrandt Intent Map step by step, and how to apply it to everyday challenges, from personal goals to professional projects. Stay tuned, because the tools you're about to discover could become the foundation for a reality shaped by clear, purposeful intention. Imagine you are standing before a blank canvas, but instead of feeling the pressure of emptiness, you feel the certainty of a fully formed picture already alive inside you. That certainty is the cornerstone of the Rembrandt Intent Map, a practice that transforms a vague wish into a vivid, sensory-rich hologram that your brain can read like a blueprint. In the next few minutes, we will walk through each stage of that map, illustrate how it works in real life, and give you concrete tools you can start using today. The first step is what I call the quieting gate. Before any act of creation, whether you are drafting an email, sketching a design, or planning a workout, you pause for a breath that is both deep and deliberate. Inhale through the nose for a count of 4, hold for a count of 2, then exhale through the mouth for a count of 6. This rhythm is not a ritual for its own sake. It signals to the nervous system that you are shifting from a reactive mode to a generative mode. As the body relaxes, the mind becomes more receptive to the fine details of the image you are about to summon. Once the breath settles, close your eyes and summon the finished result in your mind's eye. Picture it as if it were already in front of you, not as a distant goal, but as a present reality. See the colors, perhaps a warm amber glow spilling over a desk, a crisp blue sky framing a mountain summit, the muted green of a forest floor. Hear the associated sounds, the gentle rustle of pages turning, the soft hum of a coffee machine, the distant call of a bird. Feel the textures, the smoothness of polished wood beneath your fingertips, the cool weight of a ceramic mug, the slight resistance of a paintbrush against canvas. Engage all 5 senses, because the brain treats sensory detail as evidence. And the more vivid the evidence, the stronger the neural pathways that will later guide your actions. Asterisk, asterisk. Now, while this mental image is still vivid, shift your focus to the space between intention and execution. Imagine a thin line of light connecting the image in your mind to the tip of your hand, or to the cursor on your screen, or to the words forming in your head. This line represents the conduit through which intention flows. In the old master studios, the line was literal, a brush guided by the eye's focus, a charcoal stick moving in harmony with the artist's inner vision. In our modern world, the conduit might be a stylus, a keyboard, a set of spoken words, or the coordinated movements of a team. The key is to keep that line bright and unbroken. Any flicker or distraction introduces noise that will distort the final output. The third stage is what I refer to as micro-alignment. Here you break the vivid whole into a series of bite-sized actions, each one anchored by a micro-intention. For example, if your goal is to write a chapter, your micro-intentions might be: type the opening line with the cadence of a gentle wave. Lay down the second paragraph using the rhythm of a heartbeat. Insert a descriptive sentence that smells of rain on pavement. By attaching a sensory cue to each micro-task, you keep the larger hologram in view while you work on the details. This technique mirrors how Rembrandt layered light. Each thin glaze added depth and nuance, without losing the overall composition. While you are performing these micro-aligned actions, maintain a soft internal narration that reaffirms the larger picture. A simple phrase like, "This is the sunrise I'm painting," or "This paragraph is the calm before the storm," works as a reminder that each stroke is part of a cohesive whole. If you notice your mind wandering, gently bring it back to the phrase, much like a lighthouse beam that cuts through fog. The brain responds to repetition, and the more often you cue the larger image, the more tightly the neural circuits will bind the micro steps to the macro goal. The fourth and final phase is the feedback loop. Once you have completed a segment of work, step back and compare the external result with the internal hologram you first visualized. Did the colors match? Did the texture feel right? If there is a discrepancy, treat it not as a failure, but as a calibration point. Adjust your mental picture slightly, or refine the micro-intentions, and then proceed. This loop mirrors the way an artist steps back from the canvas, assesses the lighting, and adds a glint of gold or a deeper shadow. Over time, the loop becomes faster and more accurate, because the brain learns to predict the needed adjustments before they even surface. Let's illustrate this process with a concrete example from everyday life. Suppose you want to improve your morning routine so that you feel energized and focused for the first half of the day. Begin with the quieting gate. Sit on the edge of your bed. Take 3 deliberate breaths and allow the nervous system to settle. Close your eyes and picture the ideal morning in vivid detail. See yourself waking to soft natural light filtering through curtains, hearing the gentle chime of a timer, feeling the cool tile under your feet as you step into a short yoga flow. Imagine the taste of a citrus-infused water, the aroma of fresh coffee, the crispness of a notebook opening to a clean, bullet-pointed plan for the day. Feel the subtle surge of confidence as you complete each element without rush. Next, draw the conduit of intention. Visualize a line of golden light connecting the image of the awakened, energized you to the actions you will take. The alarm, the stretch, the water bottle, the coffee maker, the notebook. Keep that line bright as you move through each step. Now break the routine into micro-intentions. The alarm is not just a sound. It is the cue, rise with the sunrise. The stretch becomes, extend my spine like a sunrise stretching across the horizon. The water bottle is sip the citrus mist that awakens my senses. Each micro-intention carries a sensory anchor, making the habit more than a mechanical repeat. It becomes an embodied experience. As you perform the routine, maintain a soft internal mantra. I am greeting the day with clarity. If your mind drifts to yesterday's worries, gently return it to the mantra. After you finish, step back and evaluate. Did the coffee taste as bright as you imagined? Did the stretch feel as expansive? If something feels off, perhaps the water temperature needs adjustment, or the stretch duration needs a few extra seconds. Tweak the visualization and repeat. Within a week, you will notice the routine slipping into a fluid, almost automatic flow, because the brain has wired the intention directly into the motor patterns. The Rembrandt Intent Map is not limited to personal habits. It scales to professional projects, creative endeavors, and even interpersonal relationships. Imagine you are leading a team to launch a new product. Begin with a shared quieting gate in the meeting. Everyone takes a collective breath, allowing the room to settle into a focused state. Then, co-create a vivid hologram of the product's launch. See the sleek packaging. Hear the applause at the unveiling. Feel the excitement in the market's response. Project the line of intention from that shared image to each team member's role, ensuring everyone sees how their contribution threads into the whole. Next, define micro-intentions for each department. Design adds a tactile element that feels like polished stone. Marketing crafts a tagline that sounds like a gentle wave. Engineering ensures the interface responds with the smoothness of brushed silk. As each team works, they keep the shared mantra alive. Perhaps we are delivering elegance and impact. Regular feedback loops, prototype reviews, user testing, sprint retrospectives serve as calibration points, allowing the hologram to sharpen with each iteration. When applied consistently, this framework creates a culture where intention is visible, measurable, and embodied. Projects no longer feel like disparate tasks thrown together. They become a coherent masterpiece, each brushstroke aware of the light source that Rembrandt so masterfully manipulated. The result is not only higher quality output, but also a team that experiences less burnout, because each member moves with clarity rather than reacting to chaos. Now, let's turn to a more abstract but equally powerful application: reshaping internal narratives. Many of us carry stories about ourselves that limit what we can achieve. Thoughts like, "I am not creative," "I always procrastinate," or "I never have enough time." The Rembrandt Intent Map offers a way to rewrite those stories with the same precision we use for external creations. Begin with the quieting gate, then close your eyes and picture yourself embodying the opposite of the limiting belief. If the belief is, "I am not creative," visualize yourself standing before a canvas, the colors flowing effortlessly from your fingertips, the room humming with inspiration. Feel the pride, the ease, the sense of flow. Create a line of intention that connects this image to your daily actions. The habit of doodling for 10 minutes each morning. The practice of brainstorming 3 ideas before any meeting. The choice to keep a sketchbook at your desk. Break these into micro-intentions, such as draw a quick thumbnail before I start my email, or write a 1-sentence story during my coffee break. Keep the mantra, "Creativity is my natural state," as you work. And use feedback loops by reviewing your sketches at the end of each week, noting improvements and adjusting the visualization if needed. Over weeks, the brain begins to accept the new narrative as fact, and the old limiting story loses its grip. You might wonder how this differs from ordinary visualization techniques taught in sports psychology or business coaching. The distinction lies in the holographic depth and the explicit translation into micro-aligned actions. Traditional visualization often stops at a vague picture of success, leaving the brain with an abstract goal. The Rembrandt Intent Map pushes you to embed sensory richness, to draw a clear conduit, and to map each macro goal to concrete micro steps. This creates a full-spectrum pathway from intention to execution, mirroring how a master painter translates a mental image of light and shadow into precise brushstrokes that the eye can read instantly. At this point, you may be asking yourself, can I really train my brain to be this precise? The answer is yes, because neuroplasticity tells us that repeated focused practice reshapes the brain's architecture. Every time you engage the Rembrandt Intent Map, you strengthen the synaptic connections that link intention, sensory detail, and motor output. Over time, those pathways become the default route, meaning you will find yourself acting with purpose without needing to consciously step through each phase. Think of it as building a mental highway. The more you travel it, the smoother the ride becomes. To help you get started, I have designed a simple 3-day starter kit that you can follow at your own pace. On day 1, choose a single, modest goal, a short article, a home-cooked meal, a 5-minute meditation. Practice the quieting gate. Create a vivid hologram, map the line, break it into micro-intentions, and execute while keeping the mantra alive. At the end of the day, write a brief reflection. What felt aligned, what felt off, and how you might adjust the visualization tomorrow. Day 2, pick a slightly larger goal, a presentation, a workout routine, a small piece of artwork. Repeat the process, but add a brief feedback loop after each major segment. Pause, compare, calibrate. Day 3, combine 2 small goals into a single larger project, perhaps a blog post that includes a photo series you have taken. Use the same steps, but notice how the line of intention now weaves multiple strands together, creating a richer hologram. By the end of the 3rd day, you should feel a noticeable shift in how clearly your mind guides your actions. If you find this approach helpful, consider sharing your experiences in the comments. What was your first holographic vision? Which micro-intention surprised you the most? How did the feedback loop reshape your outcome? Your stories not only reinforce your own learning, but also inspire others who are navigating the same path. I love reading the community's insights, and they often spark new ideas that I can bring back into future videos. As you continue to practice, you may notice a ripple effect beyond the specific projects you target. Relationships may become more attentive because you start to visualize conversations with the same sensory richness, seeing the smile, hearing the tone, feeling the warmth of connection before the words even leave your mouth. Decision-making may feel less like a gamble because you have trained your brain to project possible outcomes in vivid detail, allowing you to sense which path feels aligned with your core intention. Even mundane tasks, washing dishes, commuting, filing paperwork, can acquire a subtle elegance when approached with a clear holographic mindset, turning routine into a meditation on presence.